Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we've got some nice weather, got some time off work. Gonna get out with the Dragon Hammer. We've got a bit of tuning to do on the carb on this because I've swapped it over to the Alkalite fuel. And I've also swapped it over to the Noble Pro. So, I've set the carb back to stock, so it's not going to be revving out. And then I'm just going to tweak it a little bit at a time and see how far we can push it, see if it makes any difference to it. Probably not going to get finished tuning it today because I've only got time to run one tank through it, but it should be fun. And I've already done a video on the Noble Pro settings for a 5th scale, so it does have some quite interesting features with it where you can have channel labels instead of having just the little green bar. So you can have engine on off instead of just the position of that channel. You can have lights on off. You've got your normal idle up for your throttle and everything. So it's going to be an interesting one. Not really had a chance to take it out since I've put all the extra dampers and everything on it. So it'd be interesting to see how it drives. This is the Dragon Hammer V2, but it's the one that RC models do. So it's got the silver aluminium parts instead of the red, and you've got the axle extenders that are slightly longer than the ones that come on the standard car from AliExpress. And from what I've read, it does sort of stop it from rolling as much, because we don't really have an issue with this flipping. I'll see if I can like throw it about a bit and throw the back end out. So I've done some really tight turns so you can see what I mean with it. But apparently the standard Dragon Hammer was narrower and it could be prone to flipping when you're on tight turns on grass where it's quite grippy. But we'll have to see how it goes. So let's crack on with it.
Right, so this is how we're going to be using the Pro. On the front we've got engine off, engine on, and the back button we've got as throttle idle up, and then the button on the trigger we've got for turning lights on and off. So let's get Dragon Hammer out for a change, and I've got a bit of tuning to do on it still, but let's see how a Dragon Hammer 5th scale starts after not being run for months. Right, I have to apologise because it's a bit windy, so that should be everything on. So if we switch engine to run, I don't think we'll need any choke on this today because it's a bit warm. So let's get a bit of fuel through to priming bulb. There you have it. That's how you start a Dragon Hammer. got lights on front and back. So we've got lights on front, we've got lights on back. Don't know how well they're going to show up on video. Definitely still what's leaning off this, still running a bit rich, but I'd rather that than blow it up. I think we need to tick over turning up a little. I could do with improving idle, but at minute on head temp we're only seeing 53 degrees C, and that is the air temp going past the head, not the actual cylinder head temp. This is using the FGR4 receiver. Don't get a whole lot of body roll with these dual damper setups. And as you can see, when it hits the bumpy stuff, it handles it really well. I think the more I use this, I'll probably end up going for one at Taylor engines, because it is an heavy RC and it could do a bit more power than this Roving 36. But it seems to handle pretty much anything we throw at it. Let's turn idle up slightly. So, there we go, remote kill. So, hopefully that gives you guys some idea of what it's like to run a Dragon Hammer. We've seriously got to get some tuning on this engine. And I think the chassis and everything, I don't think a Rovum 36 really does it justice. But, it's a tank. I mean, you can flip it end to end, you're not going to do any damage to them A-arms or that rear axle. I think the only concern with the Dragon Hammer is just don't hit anything with it, because it tends to go straight through it. But let's wrap this one up.
Right, so that was a whole lot of fun. Hopefully it'll answer a few people's questions that I get asked quite a lot of. Are the fifth scales hard to start, or are they as awkward to start as some of the nitros can be? So got it out of the car, and luckily it didn't make me look a liar, because I always said this starts really easy and didn't even need choke on it. So literally to start the fifth scales, I just pumped the fuel through. You can't flood them by pumping the little priming bulb thing. All it does is send the fuel back to the tank, so you can pump that as many times as you like, you won't flood it. And then I didn't even need choke on because it's quite a warm day, and I just pull it slightly till it engages, and then one good pull starter and it starts. If you're trying to start a fifth scale and you're having to put your foot on the car and you're pulling at the starter like a wild crazed spider monkey, you've got something wrong with your carb settings. That's why it's not starting, or you're not priming it properly. And it's usually what breaks either the pull cord, or it'll break the little petals, the sort of things in the starter mechanism that go in like that. If you're pulling at it quick, you'll just break them or break your pull cord. They're not hard to start. So if you're struggling starting one, then you've got something fundamentally wrong on the carb settings, or you're not priming it properly. As I said, don't be worried about priming them too much and flooding it. You can't flood it. You're only really going to flood it if you've got like the kill switch turned off and you're pulling at it like mad, so it's throwing fuel in and you've got no spark. But handling wise, this is absolutely fantastic. It's not the fastest RC. The 36cc Rovum engine, probably not quite up to running this at its best. The chassis and the suspension and everything can handle a lot more than what the 36cc Rovum can put out. But the Rovum engine's fairly cheap. I do believe that these are coated pistons in it as well. I've heard people slag the Rovum engines off. Now, yeah, you're going to get more performance if you put like a Taylor or a OBR engine in there, but you're also paying a hell of a lot more money, and if you seize one of them up doing something daft, then it's going to cost you a lot more money. That said, at some point we probably will upgrade the engine in this, just for shits and giggles basically, see what it'll run like. But as a platform, these really are a fantastic RC. I wouldn't advise getting a Dragon Hammer if you like jumping. They're set for handling around a track more than like launching through air. It's a really heavy RC, especially if you put all the aluminium mods on it. They can take quite a bashing. If you nosedive them a lot, you're going to break this front panel. You can swap the body panels out for stainless steel ones, but then you're probably going to break something else. So it's really a car what you want to set a track up and just blast around it. They are fun. They handle really rough stuff really, really well. It's surprising how good they handle with the solid rear axle. You have got front, rear and centre diffs on it, so it does help with handling. But yeah, let me know if you enjoy videos of the RCs running, and if you want to see more content like this, as well as the sort of guides and tutorials that I normally do. But thanks for watching. WTF Rc Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share to friends and family or anybody else that you might find wants to listen to my incessant ramblings. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.